Hello, friends. I welcome you to my channel. I am Lady Calamere, and I am doing my 341st presentation, and it will be on Surt. And who's going to be with us to teach us all about Surt? Well, it's going to be Lady Boss. And if you do like my channel, please like and subscribe. It's a way to pay me. I don't make any money from this. I just don't. So that would really help me out. So, Surt, also called Surt, pronounced Surt, and Icelandic is Surtur or Surtur. Sorry, Surtur. So you roll the R's. So Surt or Surt, Surtur, as we will pronounce it. These are beautiful cards that I got, and different artists have contributed to this. It's by The Giant's Tarot by Raven Caldera. So you're going to have to go to Asphodel Press to get this. And it is the only one that deals with the giants, the Roker. So if you're into Roker True or Thursa True, check this deck out. You can't go wrong. This is the back. These are the cards. And there's a reason why I have Sinmora. And we have Surt. And Surt is the King of Wands. And we have Sinmora, the Queen of Wands. And I'll get into that while I have that. So I'm just looking up the artist. Who is Surt? Surt means swarthy one or the black one. Why is he called black? Some people think, well, he's maybe his skin is black. But why? Well, one would think that his skin is black as ash, as the lava. That he is, when you burn a match, you know how it turns black? Black and ashen. And that's how he got this. And it was later surmised that he's actually a giant of the volcanoes. So when the Vikings came to Iceland and they saw the volcanoes there, what does one make of that when they didn't have volcanoes where they're from? And if it wasn't for the volcanic activity, Iceland would not be there. It's made from volcanic activity. So he deals with volcanoes. The steady, slow eruptions and the fast, aggressive, explosive eruptions. He deals with magma, which is molten earth underground, and lava when the molten earth comes above ground. He deals with the ash and the, the gas and the dust and everything, the volcanic clouds. He deals with it all. And I'm just trying to look this up while I'm talking to you, and I'm trying to see who did the artwork here, and I'm not getting any luck. So, and I want to give credit where credit is due, and I'm just not having any luck, because there's different artists that did this. But anyways, check this card out, because I really don't want to get distracted anymore than I am distracted. Yeah, I got little Boo wanting to play. You hear her? She just wants to play. So Sartor is of the third pantheon. We have the Aesir, the Vanir, and the Jotnir. He is of the Jotun. He is a fire Etin. And the Trop in 2023 finally lifted the ban on Surt. They lifted the ban on many different deities. Now, they lifted the ban on Loki around 2016, in which now they do rituals to him, but they don't do rituals to Surtur. I don't think anyone should be telling anyone who they can and can't worship, but that's just me. So, Surtur, is he being honored? There are people that are honoring him. There are people that he's coming to people. And but was he worshipped in the past? At one time there was no evidence. There was a cave uh made by lava, and it's called Surt's cave. There they thought that outlaws lived there for a time. Yeah, true, but they found evidence of worship, and they found evidence of sacrifices of domestic bones of domestic animals, and they found, I believe, bones of even hunted animals. They found evidence of a shrine worship to Surt. Now, this worship was going on. What? This worship was going around for about 100 to 65 years before the forced Christianity of Iceland. And forced meaning that if the people of Iceland did not accept, basically, I believe it was the king of Norway that said, that's okay, you don't have to convert. Stay your pagan ways. We'll just make sure we do a blockade and that you'll starve. What can you do? What can you do? So, the religion of love, starve people if they don't, be good Christians. Anyways, and as we know that, where's the? I don't know if there was evidence of even worship of Hela. I mean, they found an image of Loki, and but here's the thing about evidence like this: these evidence through time will deteriorate, and also we know the Christians love to eradicate things. They did it to many different cultures and peoples and religions, where they totally buried it, destroyed it, burned it, to eradicate it, to eradicate the history. So who knows? Was Surtur worshipped to placate him, to stop volcanic activities, or did they actually use him? Did they actually honor him? Was it both out of fear and love? Possibly. But you have now spiritual practices, religions of Rokacher by Abby Hellestottir, that was started by her. And then you have Thursa, true. So, yeah. But let's get on with Surtur. I just wanted to bring that up, that sometimes what has been hidden will come to the light. Give me that. Boo, you're not walking with that, lady boss. So his colors, what colors would we give to him? Well, black. Black for his name, black for his skin, black for the the lava, the blackened ground, the blackened ashes, the smoke. Red because he's a fire giant, because he's fire and flame. You are not ordering things. Orange, red, orange, and black. His element is fire, as well as molten earth. Molten earth. He is extremely powerful. And of course, the Christians, when they got to our stories, and Snorri Sturluson, he took her. He was Christian. He was a poet. He was a politician, and he had his agenda. He had his political agenda, and also his Christian ideology. Yes, preserve the history, but also change it and switch it around. We'll just fill in the gaps of things that I took out and I'll put in, or things that we don't remember that have been eradicated or whatever or hidden, and we'll just put it in. We'll just splice and dice it, make up shit as we go along, and twist things around. And if you look at an earlier book by Saxo Grammaticus, The History of the Danes, the stories were different. Things were different. But we got to tell a wonderful story that will be acceptable, also acceptable by the church. So, but also acceptable to my religion. So we got that. Now, Surt is a fire engine. His sword is called a fiery sword. The Levat, what is it? Levat, Levat, Levatine. The Leviathan, almost like Leviathan. That's how I'm trying to remember it, Leviathan. Now, this is an image that I have. When I saw this, I was like, oh my God, this is Surtur. Look at this. Spewing fire. The lava cape. The horns. Look, the coloring. The color of lava. He's a warrior. He's fierce. He's got his sword. Maybe it's not of fire. But look at this. He's ready for battle. In Ragnarok, which I take with a grain of salt, is the way it happens, is that he defeats Freyr, or Frey, Ingve, because Ingve gives up his sword that can defeat Surt in the final battle for love. Gives it, he gives it away, and all he has is an antler to fight against Surt. And yeah, that's like taking a switchblade towards Godzilla, I guess. Not gonna work. But hey, you gotta fight. It's prophesized. But I think the Ragnarok, as we're looking at it, is a cycles. The beginning of winter, then you have the end, then you have spring, then you have summer, then you have autumn, then you have winter. So a cycle. Uh, the battle between the kings, the Holly King and the Oak King. Then you have the battle between Veles and Perun in Slavic mythology. Then you have the battle between deer and wolf. So it's a renewal. It's to break down and to build up, to break down and to build up, to renewal. Also, another thing that we're talking about is cycles: life, death, rebirth, creation, preservation, destruction, creation, preservation, destruction, and the cycle goes on and on and on. We see this in so many different religions and cultures. It's a cycle, a purification. Surt is also a forest fire, and the forest fire gets rid of things, of old things and dead things, and unfortunately some live things, but that the forest can renew itself and become strong again. And sometimes these forest fires are inconvenient. The smell, the smoke, and also unfortunately houses burning, people, you know, getting caught up in it, unfortunately, and losing their lives. And sometimes we have to fight it. But that is Surt's nature. It's the burning of a forest, the burning of a field, the natural, by nature, a lightning strike can start it. The fiery sword, maybe a comet that hits the land or a meteorite. We can we can look at it that way, or the volcanic eruption and setting everything on flame. Anything in its way, you got to move out of its way. And it could be inconvenient. So, a volcanic eruption and you're in its way, you're not going to have a good day. Why do I have Sinmora? Sinmora is the feminine form. Is she the feminine form of Surt? Or is she his wife, his consort, his queen? Muspellheim, Muspellheim is his world, is one of the 9 worlds of fire, flame, heat, can be very inhospitable. But to them, they thrive in it. There is life forms that actually they found in lava that can thrive, bacteria that can thrive in it. Okay, I kid you not, they found it. So, and there are entities and things that can thrive in it. And of course, Christians probably thought Muspelheim is a hellish place, where, must be hell. And there's Satan. Look at him, the adversary who would destroy the world. Now, Muspelheim, is it a world? Is it an event? Is it Surt himself? Is this Surt himself? So much has been hidden, erased, whatever, you know. We know it's his domain. Could he be a manifestation coming from, like, could Muspelheim be one big divine being in which it sends out like an avatar of Surt? Or is it a place in the world? Could be all. They say the way to get to it or meditate on it, you can just simple candle flame, a fireplace, a fire pit that you can scry into, or just having a black mirror with to either scry into it or to journey to the world. Now, he is Loki's kinsman. He is like a stepfather to Loki. Why would we want to honor this deity, this Jotun who has been called evil, brutish, destructive? Listen, he's a force to be reckoned with and a force of nature. Maybe he's not one who always plays well with others, but he has been coming to people. And there's this wonderful book if you want to know more about him. And I really recommend this. There are stories about him, the Jotun book, working with the giants of the Northern tradition by Raven Caldera. Please get this book if you are in the least interest. If you just want to learn and just want to hear about experiences, you don't have to worship Surt or even Loki or Hela. Just to learn about other people's experiences and know that it is very real to people, that there's stories that he has come when during healing, and that he adds to the heat of Reiki, that he adds to the, when you throw out heat to heal, when you're throwing out that energy, that he has come to help. He's a great one for protection, for defense. A baneful word put it. There is some things about Sinmora in here, not much. But Sinmora is the Lady of Fire, and I'll take her away now. And again, it comes from this wonderful The Giant's Tarot by Raven Caldera. Here's the other side by Asphodel Press. Get that, and you can get this book at Asphodel Press, I believe, as well as Amazon. So he can be used for a baneful ward and protection, as well as healing, apparently. To heal with energy, to heal with warmth, to heal with heat. When you feel cold and you want to warm up, you can think of the fiery world. When you feel too hot, you can think of the cold world, Niflheim. He's the one that can battle for you. He is he is the one that can help you gain energy, to build up energy and to send energy. He's the one that can help you to get your power, get your strength, get your confidence. He's the one that can help you with energy, to work with energy. So if you need to fight physical and metaphorical, figurative battles, the Surt can be your kinsman too. He can help you when you feel you are drained of life, when you just feel like you just can't go any further. Surt says, yes, you can. I'll help you. Take that step and go further. And if you need therapy, go see a therapist. But Surt can help you with that confidence when you're feeling alone and weak. Surt, if you can roll your R's, that's great. Surt. So, does he die in Ragnarok? No. Well, Frey does not kill him, but he says that he is even absorbed in the flames of Ragnarok himself. And that, like, of course, somehow, some way, as I remember Snorri Sturluson, it says that it's like he's reborn as this figure of white, this beautiful figure of white. Woo! And that the children of the gods all come together, and and it restarts all over. But again, retold by a Christian, we got to take things with a grain of salt. We got to look behind the meanings of these things. As Loki told me, read between the lines and the lies. And I am very much into Loki. So he gets along with Loki. And, you know, him wearing horns, is he a horn god? Does he wear horns? Is he just a being of flame that takes on a physical form? Surt, Surt is known to also be like a shapeshifter. He is primal fire. He is ancient fire. Logi is also fire. Logi, Logi, not Loki. Loki also deals with fire. So, so I'm not gonna confuse Logi, who basically is a fire that eats. So when you light a match, when it eats, it's also like Logi. But Sir is also fire. He's also when people meet him, he's actually kind of friendly. He may be imposing, but he can be very friendly and very hospitable. While his world may not be so inhospitable, if we were there physically, I mean, it would burn, be real hot. So, like Florida in a heat wave, kind of inhospitable. It's the thought of it. Oh, yes, I used to live in Florida. So he can be friendly, helpful even. Imagine that. And his place, even his place, his direction is the south. So it's good to face south when calling him. And in traditional Wicca, south and fire are together. So it for me it makes sense. Stones that represent him. Let's get into stones. Lava, especially lava, lava rocks, obsidian, flint, like to make fire, because that makes fire. Dragon's blood, calcite, fire agate are also good stones for him. Uh, I'm also thinking, well, possibly even coal. Things that he likes to eat. People have actually given him fruit. Literally fruit. And we can think of fruit as something that maybe he might like dragon fruit, especially the red one. And I know it's not traditional dragon fruit. Red bananas, uh, black and red grapes. This is just some black plums. We can give him mead and wine, red, especially black. black, like really dark black wine, as well as red wine. Red wine. Anything blackened, even like dark toast, blackened toast, or blackened chicken. Like something spicy, like Cajun blackened chicken, blackened fish, a fiery, spicy dish, chocolate, especially the spicy chocolate that has the hot peppers in it. We can think about, you know, black cherries and blackberries, which I expressed in Medusa about using it in more the darker arts. Dragon's blood liquid. The liquid resin. Look it up, the edible stuff. The stuff that you can put on your skin and brush your teeth with, or drink. Oh, eventually will stain your teeth, so it can, but that's if you leave it on for like ever. you know. Just rinse it out. But seriously, I've used it as like I put a little bit of water on it and I smooth it across my face, and I swear it works on acne. It really helps my skin. And if moving it, if you spread it with water and spread it throughout your face and just wipe it, the excess off a towel, just 1 or 2 drops mixing into a little bit of water. It's a wonderful face treatment. But back onto track, the resin to burn, the incense, and the liquid is wonderful. Horseradish, spicy peppers. I know that's not traditional, but hey, we got spicy peppers. We could think about see if he likes rum, especially spiced rum. Or you could put some hot peppers in and see how he reacts to it with you. Um, you know, Spicy dishes, pepper jam, pepper jelly, copper spheres, steel, the metal. I'm not talking you steel, the metal. Red and black candles. Ooh, the left hand path, red and black. And look at this. Just remind me of lava, the way it is. And chocolate's good. It doesn't have to be spicy, but if you can get it spicy, that'd be great. Chocolate's always good. Lightning struck rocks. Those thunder, the Columbia night. So look them up, Columbia night. Uh, Sticks, twigs that were. Be careful with collecting them and always give an offering that were from a lightning strike or from a forest fire. Something that burned in the forest fire. So if you take something, even if it's leaving, a little bit of water from your water bottle or a drink from what you're drinking, that would be great. A thanks of appreciation for it. A few coins would be great. Gorse plant, GORSC plant. Citrus fruit. That's another thing I forgot. Citrus fruit is also, so we're talking about stones and plants and herbs. Sorry. Citrus fruit, dried peppers. A dried pepper medley is good. Citrus fruit. Yeah, that's not traditional, but that's what seems like he likes. So you think of, how about blood oranges? That would be interesting. That would work with him. Oranges, especially blood oranges. Now, if you can get your hands on a those natural black bananas and black apples, that would be great. So even red apples would be wonderful, or apples that remind you of fire and it has a yellow and orange and red. That's awesome. He's so what else can Sir do? Well, he can help rid you things of problems. And he can basically banish things, or banish a shitty neighbor. Just make sure, no one else gets hurt. Uh, if you got this really shitty neighbor, you can do a banishing spell, hot foot powder. Oh, hot foot powder. Yeah, that would be a great thing to use. And yes, I'm mixing some folk magic hoodoo with it. Whatever. I'm not gonna start arguing with people with that. Fire quartz. Go back to the stones. Fire quartz would be a great one. No, what? You're being such a drama girl, aren't you? So fire quartz, matches on the altar, but make sure it doesn't, just be careful where you put matches at. Matches are a good idea. So no, you almost knocked that down. You're going crazy. You don't want to put him next to the Aesir or next to Odin. He can hang out with Loki. He can hang out with Sinmore. He can hang out with other fire beings, but you basically do not want to put him next to those things. And uh, his altar should be dealing with anything with volcanic scenery and fire, reds and blacks, and lava and stuff like that. He doesn't need to be around green, lush things. Yeah, that's kind of contradicted with him. So definitely not those things. Uh, a red or black lighter is cool. Anything that would make fire, like Flintstones, like, you know, fire stick. And so if you know how to make a fire, you can make it a primitive way, of way people did it back in the past. Now, what did Surt do to you, Lady Boss? You knocked him over. I guess because he's the center of attention and you're not. As she goes, is it what she's doing? She's hitting him. So he can also represent an ending of something and to purify something, just to purify it. So uh, doing a ritual where, you burn things, like things that you no longer need, maybe people in your life, you just burn their pictures, get them away from you, or writing down a sigil of things that you don't want anymore. Maybe you want to burn away from this addiction. You want to, of course, always get, help for that. But just burning things, maybe burning things that represent an old life that no longer serves you. Maybe an older religion that maybe you converted from Christianity, and just burning something of that and getting rid of it and doing a ritual. Well, part of one of the things of some of the Satanists is taking the Bible and burning it. And it's just to release yourself from it. So burning something from an old religion or old thought process that no longer works for you or serves you. Surt has been called demon, Satan. Loki has been associated with Lucifer and the devil, and so. But again, look at this. Look at this. This is Christian stuff. The Vikings didn't call Surt or Satan unless they were Christianized. So King of Wands would definitely work with him because Wands is that of fire. And if I could find it in this book, so King of Wands, Surt. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the Giants Tarot. Why not? Surt the Black is the chief of all the fire giants and the king of Muspellheim. He is the oldest living being in the 9 worlds. He's very old. So that I'm just interjecting, having been the first to rip open the fabric of Ginun Gagap with his flaming wand, well, they say wand here, Levi, Levatine, and ignite the land of fire. So they're putting his sword as a wand, as a flaming wand, which is cool. All of the fire giants are descended from Surt and Sinmora, as are all giants who have fire giant blood. He is the grandfather of Logi and the godfather of Loki. On the shores of his realm, next to the black Helheim Ocean, is Nagelfari, the half-built ship made of the fingernail and toe clippings of corpses, a joint project between him and Hela. Ooh. When the ship is finished, if Hela decides to unleash Ragnarok, the ship will be loaded with living and dead Ilknar, and the dead human souls that's in her realm, to combat the Ein the Einherjar in Asgard. Oh, really? Are you okay? See, I wasn't watching. Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? Did you have to do that? Y'all see that? She just attacked Surt. Yeah? You don't like him? So in a third card shows him with a flaming wand and Naglfari, see the ship in the background. The King of Wands is a card of action and keen judgment about that action. This is the card of the one who starts things, whose actions have great weight, and who has ideally learned to balance thrusting energy into good planning as to that energy's path. Reverse, the card indicates poor judgment about the consequences of one's actions. Perhaps someone in authority bullying through without due consideration of all possibilities. That was horrible what you did. And the Queen of Wands, I'll just read a little bit about her. Sinmora is the queen of Muspellheim and the wife of Surt, chief of the fire giants, as the mother of Muspellheim. She is a fiery dancer who birthed the first fire giants. Her gifts are creativity and passion and warmth. She is the bright flame in the barren landscape. The Queen of Wands card shows Sinmora dancing around a burned tree and indicates the qualities of passion, creativity, and boundless energy for a new dance. Chaos and order. Order and chaos. A balance. change, constant change, and things that stay the same and change again and change, and a cycle again and
So
again
these
and
rivalries.
again. Sorry. Come on, stop stepping on things. Sorry. Didn't mean to. That was her stepping on everything. Always gotta have chaos here. If you're new to the channel, I have cats. Okay? Cats, cuteness, craziness, and chaos. That's the way it is. And today is Lady Boss. And did you hurt yourself jumping on him? Oh my god. So, Surt is actually mentioned in the Book of Settlements, where there's a poem to him. A literal poem written to Surt. Surtur is even mentioned twice in the Voluspa, where a Volva tells Odin, "Hey, yeah, Surtur is going to come with fiery flames from the south, carrying a giant sword of fire, in which during Ragnarok and." But there is a poem to him. So I'm just trying to remember who was told the poem, and I'm sorry, I'm drawing one of my blanks. Anyways, I'll get back to it when I remember. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should have wrote it down. So, a Surtur can be a good friend to have on your side. And if he's not your cup of tea, that's cool. I'm glad you're here learning about him. You know, it's always good to learn. So, just trying to think what else he is. He's also good for helping you win wars and battles. So those who have to go into active battle, Surtur can help you to really take charge. He can really help you possibly even win the day. So, what else do I want to talk about? So, whether we have, well, we do now know he was worshipped. Why, we don't know. Maybe to, like I said, to appease him. Who cares? People worship Hela. People are worshiping Loki. People worship deities and bringing them back. And if it works for you, it works for you. You don't need to have some orthodox religion tell you you can't. You can do whatever the hell you want. Well, worship whoever you want as long as you're not, actively hurting people and or doing anything illegal in your home. You have every right. And if you have to, keep it to yourself. You don't have to make it, loud and proud. If you feel that you're going to be, ostracized, and that, just keep it to yourself for now. Keep it to yourself, right? So I just can't remember the poem, but it was someone's, poem. He does like poems. One thing, he does like poems. He does like being sung to, and he does like people doing dances. I gotta say that. He even if you just sit in place, and if you're disabled and you're in a wheelchair, you could clap your hands and sing to him, And he definitely sounds like a metal type of guy, like heavy drums, like war drums. Definitely like really, like I bet he'd like Slayer. Songs like Hella Waits, uh Angel of Death, Rain and Blood. I think that would be his stuff. Definitely, I could definitely see him rocking out to Cannibal Corpse or Carnifex. That would be his kind of stuff. So think of that. Play some metal for him. See how he likes it. Play some heavy drumming, and real heavy, hard music. Probably the heavier, the better. Maybe some black metal like Mayhem. Yeah, yeah, I could definitely hear that. Yeah. So I wish I would have wrote it down. Maybe I just don't use scripts. I just don't use. I hardly ever. I maybe use. I show maybe use notes. I use notes for my. I use my script for a Ouija board, and I explain why. But that's about it. Surt is about burning down the old and bringing renewal. And I'm not going to say, oh, because you bring them in your home. I've had this image a long time, many years before I moved out of my old place in when I lived in Florida. I don't want to say exactly where I lived, but in Florida before I moved out of, way before I moved. Okay, I moved several times in Florida. So I had him. I saw this at one of those, I think Michaels or something. I saw it and I had to get it. I think it was Michaels. It could have been another arts and crafts store, but I saw it and I had to buy it. I had to get it. I said that's definitely Surt. Hell, Surt, right? So as we know that volcanoes are essential for creation as well as destruction and of making lands. I mean, even the islands of Hawaii is made by volcanic activity. It's just always a good day to be in its crossfires. So he's undoubtedly very old and ancient, and There's also a moon around Saturn now called Surt, a volcano on the planet Jupiter's moon, Io, is called Surt. So there's actually on the moon of Io, Jupiter's moon, there's a volcano named after him. Did you know that? Yep, yep, yep. So there's actually a star, and it also H8. There's, I don't remember, but it's called Muspellheim, the star. Muspellheim. And its planet that's the size of Jupiter that surrounds it, you know what they called it? Surt. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So that's pretty cool, huh? So in modern Iceland, uh, there is a volcanic island that appeared around the early 1960s, around 1963, and is named after Surt. So, like Surt Schiller, much like Surt Schiller, something like that. So, yeah. So, anyways, thank you for watching. And if you liked my presentation, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me. And be good to yourself. Be good to others. Be good to animals. Adopt, don't shop, and don't declaw, and no show cuts for your dog's nails, okay? And if you find a dog or a cat out in the street, give it a nice home. And as always, thank you so much. And as always, blessed be.